Hello and welcome to the Gagan Press, the YouTube channel where we talk about football boots and football in general. So today we are going to address one of the questions that I have been asked numerous times in the past, which is how do the made in Japan Mizuno K-leather boots compare to the much hyped Adlers? Alright, so if you follow football boot reviews on YouTube at least, you would have come across the brand Adler. Football boot reviewers on YouTube, such as Noah Kavanagh, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Soccer Reviews for You. They hype up Adler boots a lot, and we're here to talk about it today, right? So let's put this aside first and put this right down the middle. So this is my pair of Adler Yatagarashus. This is not my first pair of Adlers. I'll share a quick story about why this is not my first pair. This is actually my second pair. My first pair of Adlers were the Adler Horenzos. And before buying it, I've watched a lot of reviews, read a lot of reviews, and seeing the reviewers recommending getting at least half a size or up to a size smaller in UK. So it goes against conventional wisdom, right? Buying a football boot which is up to one size smaller. So I tried to tread on caution here, and I end up buying the shoe, my Horenzos, half a size smaller, to my mistake, because it was still too big. So I wear a size UK 7, and I bought a UK 6.5 for the Adlers, and they were still long. Alright, so there is a problem. I will call it a problem, but there's a bit of weirdness when it comes to the sizings for the Adler shoes. And if you plan to buy them, I do highly recommend buying it one size smaller. If you wear a size UK 8, buy a UK 7. If you wear a UK 7, buy a UK 6. Trust me, that is the best way. Ignore about going half a size smaller. It will still be too large for you. So I wear a size UK 7. This is a UK 6, and it fits my feet like a glove, just like how a Mizuno shoe would fit me, a size 7 Mizuno would fit me. If you want to put it really close, there you go. They're actually the same length. These shoes, okay, I might not be able to show it there, but a UK 6 on Adlers is the same length as a UK 7 on a Mizuno. Alright, so let's talk more about the Adlers. The Adlers, there are 4 models for Adlers right now. 2 of them are full K leather, the other 2 are synthetic. I am a fan of kangaroo leather, so I got the Yatagarashus. So the difference between the Yatagarashus and the Horenzos are not that much actually, but if you really want to know, or you really want to see the difference between those two, because the Horenzos are slightly cheaper by a few ringgits, I think if it's in dollars, maybe like $5 or even less, but in ringgits it's slightly cheaper than the Yatagarashus. And I would say the Horenzos more of a speed boot feel, while the Yatagarashus are more of a plusher feel. So this one leans much closer towards Morelia 2s and Mizuno Waves, while the Horenzo leans more towards Morelia 4s. If you get my drift, Morelia 4s are the speed boots, right? So what are the main characteristics, and why should bother getting an Adler boot? So first of all, if you put comfort before everything else, then either, Mizunos are quite expensive, they're hard to come by as well. You can just go for Adlers. Oh yeah, another idea is you want to wear something unique, because everyone else is wearing Nikes. They'll be wearing Nikes, Adlers. Some people are picking up on wearing Mizunos nowadays. So if you want to stand out with a shoe that is not as common out there, go for Adlers. Plus, you will be supporting small businesses. They are a company who are based out of Nara in Japan, if I'm mistaken. And the keen eye, or Japanophiles out there, they would know Nara is that city, is that little enclave where you know those deers who goes around, and it's, you know, where tourists go to feed deers and see deers walk around town. That is Nara. And yes, Nara Shikamaru from Naruto is named based on that location. That's why he's known as the deer guy. A little trivia for you there. So getting Horenzos, when you buy Adler shoes, not Horenzo, getting Adler shoes, you get obviously the pair, and they will come with an extra pair of real line insoles, which we have here. I decided to stick to it. I took out the original Adler soles, which is just a normal flat one, and go for these ones by Realign, because they have a slightly taller arch here, you can see, and in my opinion it's very, very comfortable. Slipping this in, it's easily one of the most comfortable shoes when it comes to, you know, the feel on the sole, and I really like it. It's not as comfy as, you know, the one on the Wave Cup on the Mizunos, but it gives a slightly different feel. I'll be comparing the Adlers with the top line Mizunos in a bit, but let's talk about Adlers first. My only issue about Adlers is that their studs are very, very old school, very, very traditional. As you can see here, they're just round conical studs. However, inside of it, they do come with this carvo material. If you can see there, right? So they look like carbon fiber, sort of. They have the similar to a carbon fiber weave, and the snapback it's really, really good. So in spite looking old-fashioned, this is packed with technology. If you are worried that the soles are going to be floppy and you might feel, you know, insecure or whatever with this, you will be bouncing around the field with this. It looks old school, but performs like any other modern boots. Actually, the soles is actually probably snappier than most of the ones you find in the market. So when I say getting the shoe a full size smaller, and you might be worried that, oh, will it stretch or will it cramp my foot? Totally valid worry there. But because this is made of kangaroo leather, I'll be talking about the Horenzo as well as the Yatagarashus. I don't look at the Yamatokyo and the other one because those are more synthetic. I'm not interested in that. It will stretch. This bit will stretch to your feet, and having worn this numerous times, this is molded to my feet perfectly. It feels like this was a custom-made boot, right? The insides, it holds the heel really, really well here. There's a bit of there's a plush feel inside, and the cup at the back here, it might not look much, but it cups my heel really, really well. So sprinting in this is not a problem. All right. So this is very thin. This part here is super thin. You can tell it's very, very soft. It's probably one of the softest, surfaces that I have, and it's very, very thin. You can actually see my fingernail poking out of it there. So that is the main difference. The biggest difference that you see once you wear, if you already have a Mizuno shoe and you're thinking, should I get Adlers and how different will it feel like? That's what I'm trying to point out. Mizunos feel more plush. The Mizunos will feel slightly thicker, slightly more padded, whereas Adlers feel very, very much like a barefoot feeling. If you really, really want that sensation, get Adlers. If you want to have a bit more plush, go for the Mizunos. Simple as that. They also come with this. These are, I forgot what the name of these, but these are the default shoelaces that comes with Adler shoes, and they don't come off easily. My only issue is they're probably a bit too short. So if you're watching this, give us a slightly longer shoelaces. And if you are into the boot culture scene lately, you would have seen that the customization for Adlers is already available. So Adlers is a small company, as I said earlier, and they make boots in small batches. So it allows them to, now that they just open another avenue where if you really want those shoes, but you really want them in specific colors, you can order them. So typical Adlers, they come in 3 colors. This black one, this is red, sorry. red with red studs. The black one comes with white studs and the full white ones. So obviously people might want to mix and match. And Adler now allows you to even pick, you want it in blue, you want it in green, you want it in gold. You can pick those colors, but it's almost double the price. The main selling point for Adlers from the beginning is that they are very, very well made and they are relatively cheap. So if you're gonna go for custom boots, which they are allowing, but it's almost double the price, at the end of the day, it's your wallet. But the way I see it, I like red, and if I'm gonna customize my boot, I wouldn't go for a white sole, which is not what I'm looking for. So I would not be paying that. I would just go for a standard what they're building, and I'll go for a full size down. So if you have any other questions about Adler, let me know. I'll be more than happy. The Horenzos feel slightly, I would say, more streamlined than this one, slightly less padded. It's hard to say how you can say it's becoming less padded than what barefoot feel it already is, but there you go. If you're a fan of Copas and you want a lighter feel, it's very, very hard to improve from the experience on playing on Adlers. Of course, in comes the Wave Cup. So the first question people always ask me when they know that I have a pair of Wave Cup SS and I also have a pair of Adlers, which of the two is the better one? So it's like choosing, if you have two supercars at home in the garage and you're like, you want to go for the Porsche or the Ferrari, it's two distinct, different feeling cars. Same as these two. Yes, they are plush. Yes, they are top-end boots. And yes, they are made in Japan. But they give a slightly different experience. The Wave Cup is very, very plush. It's got all the padded bits, the structure, the cup on the heel, and the wave bit on the heel, on this portion, and the studs. What I really like about the studs on the Wave Cup, this is addressing a comment on my first video, so shout out to you. Why I really enjoy wearing the Wave Cup is because the way these studs are positioned, they don't look conventional, don't they? But because of that, it feels that every part of your feet that's touching, that's making contact with the field, are properly supported. You get a feeling when you wear a normal shoe or normal, any brand, and you still can feel the stud pressure on the soles of your feet. I don't feel them at all with this. So, which makes why I put the Wave Cup even a notch higher than the DNA, which is a brilliant football boot. Don't get me wrong, this is a top tier football boot out there, and I highly recommend you getting it. Morelia 2 upper, Morelia 4 soles over here, and this is where it cuts. Morelia 2, anything above the finger is Morelia 2, anything below it is Morelia 4. Brilliant boot, but once you put it side by side with the Wave Cup, the stud profile on the Wave Cup, and obviously the plush leather puts it on a whole new level. But when it comes to comfortness, especially when you're talking about the leather upper, much thinner. It feels very, very barefoot, very, very minimal distance between the ball and your feet. Slightly plushier. These two are slightly plushier. My only knockback, the only thing that I will knock Adler down a notch compared to the Mizunos would be the studs. That's all. That's the only bit. But they more than make up for it with the price, with the uniqueness, and that feel. If someday I'm heading up towards my weekend football and I feel that I want to feel the ball more. I want to be a bit more reactive with the ball. Plush be damned. I'll go with this. But if I'm worried on getting injured, or I just want additional protection and some sort of padding, especially on top of my foot, and this tongue bit on the Wave Cup also does a lot in actually protecting. Don't protect much because the shoe is essentially still very thin, but any protection is better than no protection. Than the Wave Cup it is. So, final verdict. Adler Yatagarashu's brilliant football boot. The price is right, unless you really want to spend on the custom version of it. That's all to you. But the shoe as a whole that you can just order out of from their main website, it's a very, very good pair. So my top 3 choices of shoes when it comes to comfort, I would put Wave Cup number 1, I'll put the DNA 2s number 2, and Adler number 3, but very, very small margins. I can just close my eyes, I can just pick any of those shoes, I would be happy to wear them to the field on that day. What else do I miss? I think that's all. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. More than happy to address them if I can. And if you have any other ideas for future topics, more than welcome them. Until then, thank you so much for watching and listening me ramble about football boots. Catch you later.